Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my, this is actually going to be a bit of an odd one, but yeah, this is part of what I would call a GT Online deathmatch commentaries. It's a bit of a funny one because this would actually be fairly difficult to do on the PS3, but on the PS4 this actually isn't too bad, and this isn't some that I would say is really hard to set up. Oh yeah, by the way, in case you're wondering, in case it keeps, I keep saying sound replacing network, long story short, I've been perma-banned, and as I've said in I think one of the other commentaries, and I can't even remind the password because it's been like over a month since I've last logged in, and I've already got a new account set up with the name of Lewis Wilkinson. I've had it for like a little over 2 years. I think I created it sometime in December of 2012, and I haven't really used it that much like at all until now. So that'll be the account that'll be taking over. So yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. But anyway, right. One of the things I wanted to do is actually go into the capture gallery and pretty much see like all these death matches. Like I have actually quite a few. Like yeah, a lot. But that's not all of them. Like I'm pretty sure there's only like, let me see, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 4, 27. Yeah, about 37, and at the time when I got banned and that from, well, not just G-Link but from PSN, I actually had about 65. Although, considering in that, yeah, I think actually no way, I don't think some of them were races, and no, I don't think, there was 65 death matches. I think I had about 8 races and maybe 2 or 3 capture modes going about, but yeah. Although, no, wait, was it? No, actually, yeah, that was it, yeah, 65, jobs and that, including death matches, races, and the such, so, yeah. Alright, so, I'm actually just trying to think here what to do, and now what one to pick, and it's a bit tricky because there's so many stuff from since I've not recorded any, but you know what, I figured I might just start one of the oldest PS3 deathmatches I had, and since I couldn't find either Street Riot or Urban Warfare, and which I knew were the 2 oldest ones I had, I'll just have to settle for one of the kind of newer ones, but still fairly old nonetheless, and, well, here's Norway Carnage. Oh, but yeah. You'd be surprised actually how good the recordings are actually, because that's actually simulate the gameplay quite well. Although I do notice that the graphics have been down slightly, like they're not quite as high resolution, but really it's not that bad. Like, you would be fairly impressed, and especially if your first time seeing this. But yeah, it's actually like, yeah. Oh yeah, this is another thing you'll notice. For all the recordings, I mean all of them, they're like first person only. And I don't know why, I just think it's way more authentic when it's done that way. And I figured the best way to do it would to be a forced first person perspective. And that, make at least the game slightly more interesting. But yeah, would I use first person's perspective? Hard to say. And I mean, I've yet to, as of the 21st of June, I've yet to actually make a PS4 commentary. Was going to do that sometime about now, but considering being permanent banned, that's not really an option. Oh, and by the way, in case you're curious, yes, heists have actually been released. And no, I did not get enough time to complete all 5 of them. I don't think, I got to the last one and got banned while I was doing some of the planning stages. That was bullshit. And I mean, I'm actually hoping now that people don't do that, well, heists as often, because I actually want to go back. I'm thinking right now, what I want to do is try and create 2 new characters, again, another male, another female, but have them different from the characters that I had here and that. So, like, because my male was based on me, maybe not a very accurate representation, but, a representation nonetheless. Whereas Cassidy, and honestly, I don't know if I think what I said for the GT Online multi commentary back, I think earlier back last year, and that, was the fact I was trying to base it off Ashley Roberts and that, but she ended up becoming her own character really, and you know, it was just like really impressive what I was able to do with her, and like, and you know what I think what it was? It was actually just down to the fact that, you know, it was all down to just, well, okay, maybe I shouldn't give that much credit, but yeah, part I think what made her beautiful was actually the makeup. Like, holy shit. If more people knew about this makeup, I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot more attractive faces, and I'm not even joking at that. You know, it's like, you get a lot of this makeup crap, like 95% of this utter garbage. Like, seriously, you should have a look at me. There might be, like, say, some that are wacky that actually kind of makes sense for, like, say, could be, for example, people trying to replace a Joker or some, like, Jokerish character. Basically, someone who's, like, vintage looking, you know, has, you know, back, like, 40, 50 years ago, where makeup was a bit more, how to say this, exotic back then. Yeah, it was like, I guess that makes sense, but I swear there's a bunch of makeup that just, they wouldn't look pretty with anyone. I mean, I do mean that. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to make a decent female. In fact, they actually say that, you know, it's much easier to get a good looking female character for the PS4, and you know what, I'll give it all due respect, that is a possible case, but for me that never really happened. Like, I was hoping that, alright, you know how my female was already attractive enough as she was? I was actually worried the opposite. I thought the game would make her look ugly, and at the start it actually kind of did. Like, I was horrified, and you should have seen it, like, you know, like, just the whole makeup thing, it was fucking ridiculous. And like, seriously, the game was, to put it bluntly, you know, making my character look fucking ugly, and it's a shame really, because I would have actually loved to make her like some sort of beauty, like, you know, beauty queen. I mean, she probably already was in some sense though. I mean, I had to have like, alright, you know, the only kind of types of the community really, well, not really bothered me, but okay, yeah. The only kind of community that really bothers me is the hackers and, you know, people who cheat, right? But cheats in the sense that they actually do cheat and create hacks, and not people who use glitches, because their capability of damaging others is rather limited, whereas hackers can go all over the place with it. But one thing I noticed was kind of, this might bother some people, but for me it's not really a problem, is actually to do with the fact that, yeah, some people, like, this is only when I play with female character, basically, they try and, like, do that, what's that emotion again, like, it's the humping one, air dash? No. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, basically they try to do that with my female. I've seen that quite a few times. And, you know, and this is, like, this isn't people who, like, I mean, I rarely see it with other people. And, you know, maybe I've seen it 2 or 3 times with other females, but honestly, more often than not, I've seen it with me. And mind you, this is death matches where you're usually in close contact with your team, so you more or less see that kind of stuff. And especially the interior death matches. And, you know, but, yeah, I think the biggest thing was, you know, like, I've actually had, like, a couple of people actually talk about my character, saying how sexy she is, and like, you know, and if that's the case, and I can't wait to see, like, if they had actually looked up the close-up pictures I had, they would probably shit themselves, in a good way, of course, but yeah, they would probably really like the whole, I don't know, like, I guess you could say it was an alpha female kind of look, and you know, because that's kind of what it was. And you know, the alpha female was really popular, and you know, but yeah, it's just because I remember one of the things that people really didn't like about GT online female characters was the fact that, yeah, they didn't look really pretty, and you know, like, especially with the clothes design, that was, oh god, that was horrific. But yeah. Oh yeah, you know, I was just looking here, whilst on the topic of GTA Online, I was going to say about this deathmatch in particular, Motorway Carnage. You know, this actually became one of the earliest deathmatches, and that because I was trying to think of, like, something that would be, like, fair, but also really interesting. And that, because if I was really boring, I could just put, the exact same, it could be one straight line with the exact same kind of layout guns and that, and I suppose I tried to follow that example because that is really fair, but I tried to at least blend it. Like here, this is actually a really interesting way of doing it because this is actually got like people, like you'll get team starting one side and another team the other, and but all the guns are fairly placed for the most part, even though there's not that many guns actually. I think there's only about around 15 to 20 weapons compared to like the usual max I try to achieve of what used to be 50 is now 40, but yeah, it's because this is a fairly small deathmatch, and I'm actually thinking in future when it comes to like PS3 or PS4, or particularly PS4 versions, yeah, I'm gonna actually try to keep that to like a minimal, and try, instead of like, you know, one problem with the 100 props is actually just the fact that, you know, it's so easy, like, oh, I'll get a really big area and a huge kind of like people deathmatch. I kind of don't want that anymore. Like, I'll try to do it for the team buddies, and like, I've got, yeah, in case you're wondering, team buddies is like this whole 4-team deathmatch thing that I've been trying to get going, and it's not too bad actually. And but aside from that, there's not really much of motivation for 20 or over people deathmatches, simply on the basis that it's really hard to get started, and I mean really hard. Like I don't know if it's just me, but it just seems to be like it conks out a lot of the time, and it's a bloody shame, and you know, like, it's a real shame. But again, there's just not much you can do about it, you know. But I would say though, in the end, yeah, I think it's to do now. Try and create more complex death matches with like a similar area. You know, like I've got some ideas going because right now, because I'm permabanned, I can't actually. Well, I'm permabanned on this account. I can't create any more on this. But what I plan on doing is trying to like, I'll favourite a bunch of jobs, and now like most of them will be for genuine just entertainment when I need it. But some I'll only be like, say the team buddies. I don't plan on going back to them, and that'll just be for recording's sake. You know, I might actually, I will be doing the team buddies recording at some point later on, but I don't know. I just feel like I hate the fact it's cut out, and like both of them have at least 30-40 seconds cut out of them, and it just don't know, it doesn't feel right. But I think when I do get a chance, I will actually try to, you know, do a better job recording, because there actually are some other jobs I've suffered from that, and if I can, I'll try and show off what jobs I've suffered. I've actually marked them now like an X just to signify that, and yeah. So 173 to 177. Well, it's all shit. And yeah, you can actually tell just like, you know, the PS4 version of Cassidy. You know, like, oh yeah, okay, that's another thing, just to, you know, jump the gun here a bit. Yeah, you know, also got 20.3k even though we're the losing team. Now here's the thing, right? The PS4 had the great thing of actually increasing the whole buffer thing. Like, you know, I think what annoyed me was before, like, you couldn't really earn too much from deathmatches, but now they've upped that a bit. So that makes see, look at that, 27.6k. Lot of money you're dealing with there. But yeah, that's probably the main advantage, that you get even more money than before. Like 27.3k is a lot of money. Even though it's actually kind of harder to set a deathmatch PS4, what I've noticed, than it is in the PS3, but, you know, well. Right, so as for the other one, what was it again? Right, that's it, yeah, brutal genocide. Yeah, this was one I've been wanting to do for a while. Yeah, oh yeah, you'll probably notice snow weather. Yeah, that's something that, you know, actually, this is weird, right, but you know when I got GTA Online, I actually fucking missed out on the snow weather. Like, I think back at that point, it was only for Christmas and Boxing Day, that was it. They never actually did a New Year's version, which means I never actually got the chance to see the fucking snow weather. And even though I was playing around at the point, whereas here, you know, you can actually see the snow weather. And you know, like, I've actually got, like, you've probably seen some pictures as well. And but, oh, brutal genocide. The fact, you know, brutal genocide was actually a name I took from a capture that I was going to try and do, but because of the diminishing interest in capture modes, I just kind of gave up on it. you know, but yeah, this one's, like, I'm actually taking full advantage of it, because you'll see there were the buses, and like, that's good sniping points, and it makes really good use, because it's actually like, you know what I had in mind, right? I actually had in mind, oh, what was it? It was this Chinese strategy kind of like fighting game. Well, I wouldn't say fighting, more like army kind of like military fighting game. Like, I'm not really sure how to call it and that, but yeah, I think it goes by the name of Dynasty Warriors and that. And I kind of had in mind the, like, you know, two even forces and like, you know, trying to take over the other side, but they had all different points in which they could utilize. You know, like you know, there's just all sorts of ways to try and overcome that anyway, and unless one side's really good over the other, they'll use that struggle and to overtake the other side. No, that's a good thing, because it means people spawn. It's kind of like, you know how some people feel like they need to prove their ego by like going all, you know, Rambo, and if they do the job good enough, which they could, that's actually going to prove negative in the long run. Why do I say that? Because of the fact that, you know, it's actually going to cause people to spawn on the other side, and just, you end up getting crammed together, and actually got to fight people who are on their front, and then people are starting to spawn behind you, and it's just, it's all panicky. And yeah, you notice that sniper there, and yeah, exactly what I meant. And it was, I didn't even realise my own like flaw. Like, I knew they were sitting there, but for some reason I did not fucking notice them. And that's how smart it is. I mean, I'm usually pretty savvy when it comes to, you know, noticing these kind of things, but I actually ended up falling victim to that, you know. Yeah, rather surprised myself about that. But yeah. Oh, but yeah, brutal genocide. I'd say for the first PS4, definitely like the first proper, not like a upped version of it. You know, I would say it was actually fairly impressive, and you know, like, obviously it wasn't the world's greatest attempt, but you know, I would say it was a pretty damn good job nonetheless. And so, you know, that was pretty good. Oh, but yeah, another thing I love about this, just like, I don't know, as it feels a bit like Call of Duty, and a bit like Call of Duty. It's not quite got the same feel, but I don't know, I just think I really love it, and you'll especially see how good it is in the tier deathmatch. It's like, it almost produces a new kind of feeling altogether, like it really is a Call of Duty deathmatch. And you know, and I think that really, it makes you know, the deathmatches stand out all that much more. And you know, like, it's really just that good. And you know, no kidding. And but oh boy, yeah, I'm just trying to think here. With regards to death matches, how am I going to approach future recordings? Well, I think the thing is about this is that obviously I'm not going to be able to like play with either Lewis or Cassidy anymore. Yeah, if you're wondering about it, what I have in mind is obviously I'll do the male-female thing again. You know, I'm not going to have two females or two males. Fuck that. But what I will be doing is I'll try. I think it's either going to be like an Africanish male who resembles CJ, or he kind of like a, yeah. You'll probably notice with my main character, he wasn't like super tanned. I'll try and go for like someone who's got a darker skin, but not super dark, unless that's what I'm going for. And because I'm still not decided on that, you know. Because CG would actually be quite a fitting character, but I don't want it to get like. I've had the idea of trying to base characters on like characters from other video games, but that kind of limits my creativity. And when I just had a generic, you know, male and female character, although they were my generic characters that I really liked, then I could kind of do lots more things without feeling odd. And so, you know, that's something I'm going to need to keep in mind. And but yeah, I think that generally speaking, and you know, it's like I think one of the things that gets me actually is actually just to do with the fact that, you know, well, GTA Online and yeah, you know, I'll probably speak more on heists at a later point, but yeah, one thing that gets me about the heist is like, you know, you've got a bit of a double-edged sword here situation. It's like, either you host it, and you have to like go through all the planning bits, you have to pay the cost, and but at the perk, it means you've got full creativity, you have full control over how the houses roll, you decide how much you get paid at the end, and generally I try to be fairish. Like, I think me getting 40%, others getting 20% is pretty decent, and you know, like it's obviously not the world's best deal, and but I still say it's pretty damn good nonetheless. And generally people say, because they actually recommend 55%. You know, I'm willing to take a bit of a cut down, and hopefully that'll you know convince all but the most serious kind of people, and like you know, or not serious, all but the most greediest of people. You know, because some people are fucking greedy cunts. You would be surprised, but yeah, there are some right fucking dipshits out there, and it's unfortunate, really, and you know, it's simply because of the fact that, yeah, I think some people just feel like they need to own everything. Oh, hold on, I'm just gonna fix something here. There we go. Right, but yeah, I think yeah, what concerns me is, you know, if I try to like, I think I'll set a golden rule for myself that I will not even attempt any sort of heists until I hit level 100 training. Yeah, at least 120, so I've got access to all the weapons, and it's not even necessary. That's the thing, it's not even necessary. But I feel like I have that obligation. So like when I try other heists, people won't look at me and say, oh, he's a low level, and you know that. Because I think I actually had the opposite concern when I was a higher level. Like, see when my guy was like Star Knights, I think he was like in the high, well, he was about 207, 208. I mean, that was a really high level. I don't know, like, not super high like I've seen some people, but still pretty damn high. And I was worried at some point people would start thinking, oh, he's a hacker or something, because I've seen some people do that, like, not even just 300 plus people, I'm saying 200 plus people, they would just say, oh, there's no way he could reach that high. Even that's kind of the case. And I mean, my female was also pretty damn high leveled, like, she was a 178 or 9 and that, you know, like, she was really high leveled, and you know, so it was kind of like I was in a bit of a dilemma regarding that. Obviously now I have to start over, you know, it's just, it's going to be a pain, but, yeah, also that's another glitch, not be able to shoot for a fucking fence. Oh god, that was a pain, and but, yeah, I suppose I might as well fast forward a bit since the recording's almost out. Let's see, I'll just fast forward it about here-ish. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, I think that's just the thing about it overall. And I mean, would I say the PS4 version lives up to it? Yeah, to some extent it does. And I mean, as long as you're creative, that's the big thing. If you're the creative type of person, yeah, you'll actually you have your own kind of fun. Like, you know, for me, it's just about creating death matches that, you know, be really appealing, and you know, I think despite the fact interior death matches and sky maps are no longer possible, they kind of had a new form of map with the ones where like, because you can never like create like, you'll probably see it in some layered death matches, like even this one I'd say is, you'll probably never be able to create this and that without the moving up and down prop, whereas here it's like, yeah, it's actually possible. And you know, I've got some new ideas for upcoming death matches that I will probably record later on, and that as with new 2 characters, so I'll be keeping an eye out for that. Right, well, I suppose that does it for this time. And next time, next time I suppose I'll do more death matches, although I'm not even sure what I'm going to be covering, like, yeah, I have no fucking idea at all. But we shall see. We shall see. In any case, till then, folks.